Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be sharing my June setup with you guys, but first let's do a quick flip through of my setup for the month of May. So for the month of May, I don't really know how to describe the kind of theme I did, but it was kind of a birthday theme. So it was a birthday cake along with this flower and wine kind of aesthetic, which I really like how it turned out. And this is my mood and habit tracker. My mood tracker is not quite filled up yet, but I'm loving how it looks like so far. If only there was a little bit more variation, it would look really nice, but that's just how my mood goes. And this is my May playlist and my May mood board. I actually did not set up my May mood board in my May plan with me video, but I uploaded it as a separate shorts video on my channel. So if you do want to check it out, I will insert a link on the top corner. Now moving on to my weekly spreads. This is my first week's spread, which I really love how it turned out. I think it's probably my most favorite setup for the entire month of May. And then this is just my second weekly spread, my third, and my fourth weekly spread, which I am not completely done yet. And now let's move on to the main part of the video. My theme for the month of June is a mushroom and ferns theme. I've definitely seen quite a few variations of this theme on Instagram, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to do this theme. I've seen a lot of mushroom setups and I really just wanted to do one of my own as well. Just to make things more interesting, I decided to add a little sun as well, peeking out from behind the ferns, and I think it turned out really cute. I just love the added touch of the sun, and I think it just allows for a variation of colors as well. To make things more interesting, I also decided to do a Dutch door. So you can see that I kind of cordoned that area out with a little line, and I think, if I'm not wrong, my Dutch door was around 8 squares, but I'm not entirely sure, so don't take my word for it. I decided to draw a mushroom that's gonna be sticking out a little bit out of the Dutch door as well. So anyway, I'm just coloring them in right now, and if you guys want to know the exact Tombow markers that I'm using, definitely check out my description box below. All the information is on there, and I always try to add links to all the supplies that I use in all of my videos, so do go check that out if you want to use the same supplies as well. This is the first video in which I'm using the yellow ochre color that you can see me using for the sun, and I just love this color so much. I realized that it is so beautiful and I definitely am in love with this color, and will definitely try to incorporate it into more spreads in the future. So anyway, now I'm just lettering the word June at the bottom of the page, and I decided to use my metallic brush marker, and this is something new that I got, which is super pretty. I'm just so impressed by how shiny and opaque the brush marker turned out to be, and I wish I got a closer up shot of it, but I think you guys can also kind of see how it looks like in the later part of the video, because I'm definitely gonna use this marker more in the later part of this video as well. So anyway, I'm just cutting out the Dutch door now. Of course, the next part of the spread is my calendar spread as usual, and I decided to switch things up a bit because I realized that I do not have enough space for an entire calendar just like other months. So I decided to do a tiny calendar on the side, which you can see is demarcated by the rectangle that you see there. And then I'm just gonna do a kind of list of dates on the right hand side. So currently now I'm just working on my second page. And of course, since this is going to be seen from the cover page as well, I tried to make sure that it is as cohesive as possible. So I'm constantly just flipping back to my cover page while coloring it in or drawing the extra mushrooms and ferns, so that I can just make sure that they all look harmonious and nice. after I'm done with that, I am just drawing my calendar spread now, and look at how tiny it is. I'm not sure if I will like this layout, but we'll just see how it goes. So anyway, as you can tell, I of course wrote out the dates on the right hand side as well, and I'm not entirely sure if I will have enough space for all of the things that I have to write, but to be honest, are we even doing anything much these days? I feel like majority of my days are just spent at home, so to be honest, I think this layout is gonna be just fine for me. So anyway, I decided to just add a little bit more mushrooms on the left hand side, and as you can tell, I'm trying to do a little bit more of shading this time around. So I'm using my Sakura Pigma Micron pens. I'm using my 05 pen nib for all the normal line drawings, and for more specific shading or more specific details, I'm using my 01 and my 005 pen nibs. And just to add a little bit more shading, I also go over it a few more times with my Tombows just to add darker and lighter tones as well. So anyway, after that is all done, I'm just doing a little quote at the bottom of the calendar spread that says, "Do it for you." And I just love how this turned out. And now moving on to my mood tracker. So my mood tracker is gonna be super fun this month. I think I'm gonna have a blast filling this up. I've never really done these kind of mood trackers before, I think. Like, I've done different kinds of mood trackers like line graphs, or usually it's just one big picture, but this time around I decided to split it up into many different drawings, which I actually kind of like how it looks, and I think it just looks really neat. All the mushrooms look really cute together, so yeah, I'm gonna have a blast filling it up, and hopefully it turns out as nice as I imagine it to be. And now I'm using the same Zig Fudebiyori Metallic brush pen, and as you can tell, it really is super opaque and it's really shiny, but of course you can't really tell it from the camera, but in person it looks really cute. And honestly, after using this gold pen, I just feel like buying more of their other metallic brush pens as well, and definitely I will use them a lot. But you know, I already have quite a lot of brush pens, so I'm trying to practice some self-discipline right here. For my habit tracker, it is something simple as well. I'm just drawing the same mushrooms, ferns, and sun as well. And at this point in time, it's starting to get a little bit more like second nature. Like, I've drawn so many mushrooms at this point that I feel like it has become so much easier as compared to when I first started out, which is really cool because like practice really does make perfect. Of course, not saying that my drawings are perfect, but like, you can really tell that it becomes easier the more I do it, which is really great. So as you can tell, I'm using my 005 pen to just do some shading, and as my ferns are behind my mushroom, I kind of wanted to increase that contrast a bit, so you can tell that I'm coloring in my fern quite extensively just to make sure that you can really see the distinction between what is in the foreground and what is in the background. I think adding the shading really does do quite a bit in helping to make the drawing appear more three-dimensional, or at least a little bit more realistic as well. And if nothing else, it at least looks more interesting. Just coloring my sun in with my nice yellow ochre pen once again, and I decided to use this purple color as well, and I'm not really sure how I feel about it. I don't really know if it fits in with the rest of the color scheme, but I kind of like it, and given that it's in the center, it kind of looks like it's distinct from the rest of the mushrooms. And then also I decided to use 2 different shades of green, as you can tell from my habit tracker. So since I'm drawing different kinds of leaves, I decided to do one green, which is the Tombow shade that I always use. I always use the Tombow brush pen 192 for all my green drawings because I just love that shade of green. And I decided to spice things up a little bit by using a little more bluish green for the other leaves as well. And this is the zebra moutliner, I think. I'm just drawing in my different habit trackers right now, and I'm too lazy to write out all the numbers, so I decided to just draw squares, and hopefully I can kind of keep track which square is which. And then I'm just lettering in all my different habits. I'm really liking this font that I'm using for all of my titles. I think it looks really cute, and I'm trying to incorporate that for all of my subtitles as well. So anyway, this is how my mood and my habit tracker look like, and I'm just adding in a little bit more of gold sparkles just because I thought that the title area kind of looks a little bit empty. So that's all I have. And now moving on to my next 2 spreads, which is my 1 line a day spread as well as my fave log spread. I don't usually do much for these 2 spreads because I generally like to keep as much space as possible for myself to fill up throughout the month. So obviously I'm trying to keep them as simple as possible, and so I'm just doing a small drawing on the bottom right corner. As you can tell, I really like the alternate coloring thing that I did for my calendar spread, so I did the same thing for my 1 line a day spread as well. And for my fave log, I tried to go back again and try with my purple brush marker, but this time around what I did was I used a Uniball Signal pen to go back again to color in the dots to make them white, which I kind of like actually. I'm leaving these 2 pages blank. I don't think I'll be doing a playlist spread this time around because I haven't been listening to a lot of new music. So my playlist spread for June wouldn't be much different from May. So anyway, I decided to just leave 2 spaces for my mood board, which I'll be doing in June itself. So now moving on to my first weekly spread, which is also the final spread I'll be doing for this video. I'm just drawing mushrooms and ferns and leaves at this point in time. I just feel like I don't need to explain much anymore. As you can tell, there's a lot of space created by this kind of weekly layout, which is something I'm trying out for the first time in June. Usually my days aren't super busy in a sense that I do have a timetable to follow, so I don't really have a lot of to-do lists every single day. This kind of space will be too much, and I feel like if there's too much white space, it just looks a little empty and a little bit sad. So you can see what I'm going to do later. I'm just gonna fill up the bottom of the page with this little grass as well, and I kind of like how it turned out in the end. I think it looks super cute, and I feel like it ties in the entire weekly spread rather than if it was just blank space at the bottom of the page. So I think I really like how this turned out and how complete this spread looks, I guess. I know I kind of say that every single month, but I'm super excited about this theme and I can't wait for June to come So yeah, I think that's all I have for this video. This is just my final flip through, and I'll be posting the video sharing my weekly setup soon in June, I guess, probably in the second week of June. So do stay tuned for that. I'm super excited for my weekly spreads in June, and I hope that you guys will go and check it out as well when I post it. If you enjoyed my video, why not give it a like and subscribe, and stay tuned for subsequent videos. I will definitely be posting more on this channel now that I'm almost graduated from school, so do stay tuned for that, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!